and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where I have now just returned from holiday. So I'm back, I am ready to go to work, and I've been thrust immediately into brain surgery. Oh, that's what it feels like here, trying to work out what on earth is the Champions League now? What is this new format? How does it all work? And today, we're going to be unpacking it all. We are going to be looking at the opponents that Barca will be facing in the group phase and understanding exactly what we need to do to make it to the knockout stages. So sit back, guys, relax now, and hopefully take all this information in as the brand new Champions League, it gets underway here. But I want to start first of all, guys, with some super thanks shout outs here on the channel. And I want to shout out here brother Milo. He is the biggest Barcelona fan, and I am wishing him here today a very, very happy birthday. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And also here, plenty more encouragement on the live streams and live watch-alongs here on the channel. It would have been a good one today if we'd done it here on the Champions League draw. We would have been there a while, though, because they did take time to get underway. As always, we had lots of awards, we had a big ceremony, but all we all wanted to know was, how does it work, UEFA? What have you done to the group stage here? What exactly is happening? Well, let's try and break it down now, exactly what this new format means. Because right now, guys, what we have is basically a single league of teams. That's what we have. We do not have individual groups anymore like we used to do. What we have is an entire league table full of the best teams there in Europe, in the Champions League, the very, very best in a big league. So you could call it, I don't know, what can we say? Maybe a Super League. That would fit, wouldn't it? But no, we won't go there. But what UEFA have done is put the whole thing in an entire league table and have basically extended the group stage format. What they have done is increased here the number of games that we are going to play. Because if there's one thing that these players needed, it was more games. It was more football for these players to have to go through. But that is what we're going to have. We are going to have 8 games instead of 6 at the group stage. There are going to be 4 matches at home, 4 matches away, and it will be made up there of 36 teams in total. But before we go on to exactly how they were all drawn and exactly who is going to be facing who, let's talk here about the whole aim, you know, what the idea is with this league format. Because what you want to do here, of all the teams, of all the 36 teams that are going to be in this league table, you want to finish in the top 8 of those teams. Because if you finish in the top 8, that will automatically take you through to the round of 16 stage in the Champions League. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking right now, well, if it's the round of 16 and only the top 8 automatically go through, well, how on earth do they get the rest? Well, UEFA have got an answer for that as well, because if you finish then between 9th and 24th in this league table, you will go through to an earlier knockout round there. It will be a playoff match to reach that round of 16 stage. So you basically get a second chance if you don't finish in the top 8. Anybody there who finishes between 9th and 24th, they will still get an opportunity. They'll still get a game to try and make it through to the round of 16. Because then from that round of 16 stage, guys, nothing at all changes in the Champions League. The round of 16 is the same, then you've got the quarter-final, the semi-final, the final. That all remains exactly the same. But what this format will see is more teams qualify. 24 in total will qualify from that initial group format. And of course, like I say, UEFA's main aim was to get more games from the initial group phase. So let's talk here about exactly how they were all drawn, because what we had was 4 different pots today. Those were ordered there based on coefficient, of course, based on the past performance from these teams in European competition. And we had pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, and pot 4. Now, usually, you get 1 team from each, and that would be a group of 4. But that's not how it worked this time. That was way too easy and way too simple for UEFA. They thought, okay, no, we're not going to do that. Let's double it. So each club drew 2 teams from each pot, and every club will play 8 games in total, 4 of them at home and 4 of them away. And they were basically generated there, those fixtures in these games, via a computer. It was randomly assigned which games were going to be at home, which were going to be away. The computer started basically at pot 1 and drew every single game as it went. And this, let's go on to the games. Let me show you how it all looks when it's done. This is the result. Because Barca's Champions League group stage draw is as follows. We will be playing Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Atalanta, Benfica, Young Boys, Red Star Belgrade, Brest, and we are probably going to have some jokes on that one, and AS Monaco. Those there are the 8 teams that Barca have been drawn with in the Champions League group phase, which I think immediately, guys, and we are going to come on to the full draw, because I think it's interesting here to see plenty of big games in there. You know, Bayern, Dortmund, they're going to be jumping out at you, but also plenty of quality elsewhere as well, and games that are going to test us, especially ones, of course, that we're going to talk about that are away from home. But when we are going to look now at these other draws and the other teams that our opponents have been drawn against, I definitely don't think it's the most difficult 8 teams out there. I certainly think here, Barca, there is quality in there. There is going to be tough matches, but there is a lot more out there that we could have got. Because let me just try my absolute best here, and let's really focus all of our brain power right now, guys, to maybe just make it a little bit more clear about everything that's going on in this Champions League group phase. Because this right here is what we're dealing with. Now, admittedly, guys, when I first saw this graphic, my head actually exploded. Honestly, I could not believe here, looking at the Champions League draw, oh, that's the draw. Is it? What does that even mean? Who even are these teams? But when you look closely at it here, what we've got, Bayern, Barca will play at home, Dortmund will be played away from home, then we will have Atalanta at home, Benfica away, Young Boys at home, Red Star Belgrade away, we'll have Brest at home, and then Monaco will be away. So those there are Barca's fixtures in the Champions League, and just to look here at what some of the other teams are going to be coming up against, because it's interesting then, because you look, for instance, at Real Madrid. They're also going to be playing against Dortmund. They will play Dortmund at home. And everything is sort of combined in a way with the teams that you'll be facing, but also sort of separated in its own way as well. A lot of people here are looking at Paris Saint-Germain's draw. They will have Man City, Bayern, Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, PSV, Salzburg, Girona, and Stuttgart there. PSG have got a really, really interesting draw. And you can see across this draw here, guys, I've got to say, there are some interesting matchups. And of course, with this league format, hopefully it will provide a competitive edge. Because obviously, I think the UEFA's concern was when you got to the end of the old group stage draw, a lot of the games were dead rubbers. You know, a lot of the groups were sort of decided. You knew who was going to go through. Clubs started to rotate. And I think UEFA hated that. You know, they want every game to be maximum exposure, maximum effort and attention. And like I say, they kind of do want it to be like a Super League here. They won't come out and tell you that. They won't publicise that here. But they have created a league of the best teams. They've increased the matches to 8. And who would honestly be surprised here if, as time goes on here with this new format, if it gets bigger and bigger and bigger? I wouldn't really. I do not rule that out at all. But what we do know right now, guys, is that Barca have their opponents. We know who we're going to play at home. We know we're going to play away. We just about know how the new format is going to look. And now all we've got to wait and do is see how we perform. But I just wanted to give you there, guys, an overview of what we saw today from the Champions League, who we have been drawn with. And of course, there will be lots more coming up, lots more analysis on our opponents, on exactly how we'll tackle the brand new Champions League. And let's hope, of course, that we are targeting those top 8 places. We want to be through. We want to be ready to go for the round of 16. And let's hope for a very, very exciting competition here. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, please, guys, on 2 different things here. Number 1, on Barca's draw, the teams that we're up against here. What do you think of the teams that we have been drawn against? And number 2, more importantly maybe even, what do you make of this new format? What do you think here of this complete rebrand, really, of the Champions League group stage? Do you like it? Or are you still getting used to it all? I will catch you soon. I hope this video has helped you even just a tiny bit. Hopefully it has. And thank you indeed, guys, for your fantastic support. I will catch you soon. But until next time, as always, Vejka El Barca.